What is up, y'all? It's Sonia,
It's Genevieve,
and Teresa.
bringing you fresh and zesty content for your education and enjoyment.
In this episode, we're going to talk about TikTok and its ties with the music industry, but before we do that, let's welcome our guest, Nathan. Thank you for coming in today, and why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Nathan. I am, I'm just Nathan. I'm a musician, and I'm on social media, rising little TikTok star. I mean, it is what it is.
Cool, so again, thank you for coming in today and allowing us to pick your brain. So the first half of this episode would be all of us talking about TikTok and, the music industry, and then later we'll be doing a short interview. So yeah, Jenna, why don't you start us off?
So most of us, at least in our generation, kind of know what TikTok is and how much of an influence it's had over the past couple years, honestly. So its main kind of source of existence was just kind of when Vine, which was another platform like it that had a bunch of 6-second videos, when that shut down, another app called Musical.ly kind of took its place, making videos with music in the background, but it wasn't seen as something that would replace Vine in a good sense. So they kind of rebranded, changed it to TikTok, and updated it, and it kind of just went off from there. It became very successful with other people. It did essentially become Vine's replacement, and is now one of the top, basically, social media sites for our generation at this current point in time. And the effect that it's been having over things like the music industry is kind of crazy. So it'll be fun to get into that. So you can kind of assume that TikTok is, again, another platform of social media, but because of that, it does have its own basic stars almost that, if you think about it like YouTube, and there's very famous YouTubers that most people know, some of which are like Markiplier gaming channels, Mr. Beast, those kind of things. They have that equivalent for TikTok as well. And it is seen as another way that you could get TikTok famous, as they call it. And so it's kind of another platform that people can basically have influencers go off of and create almost a career out of. But the algorithm is really what you have to get past if you want to deal with that.
Yeah, I think for platforms like Instagram, it tends to highlight more popular creators or creators that are more consistent with their content uploads. So it's very hard to get established and kind of launch into, whereas TikTok, it's more viewership. So the longer you watch a video and the more it's reshared, the more likely that the video will gain traction and be highlighted. It's easier to launch into some sort of 6-second video and just kind of project from there. People like Charlie D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that because in my experience, it's significantly harder to get more traction on Instagram posts than it is on TikTok. And I really think it is the algorithm because you guys know we have the For You page, and that is at least what I assume the source of what many people actually look at when they go on TikTok. Because it's the first thing that pops up. And on the For You page, it's just recommended videos, which means that it's most likely going to be creators that you haven't seen before. So, it's definitely easier on TikTok to get your video out there because TikTok just puts that video into the algorithm as hey, here you go, to a bunch of people that probably don't even follow you.
I also think it's kind of cool that we're living in a time where we can literally see the evolution between the different forms of media and how people have moved on from different forms of media. I think YouTube was huge back in early 2000s, and you had stars like Justin Bieber that now he's an actual full-blown celebrity, but he started out on YouTube, and now later, as Jenna mentioned, you had Vine and Instagram and Musical.ly, and now our new form of media is TikTok, so that's cool.
Yeah, I think another thing you could add there is that Instagram, I feel like, not only is it run by Facebook, so it's automatically more established as a official form of social media, but that also means that it into account more of who you are coming into it. Because I know Instagram, it's very hard. You can't really get famous off Instagram, but if you are famous, Instagram is a place for you to go already, kind of, because you can see a lot of celebrities' Instagrams, and they're up there, and the most famous Instagram accounts are definitely celebrities that were popular other than Instagram. Whereas on TikTok, it just takes the most popular videos, so everybody that's now famous on TikTok most likely got famous on TikTok. There are some, obviously, celebrities that use TikTok, but their videos still have to be good if they want to be popular on TikTok. But again, it gives that little more of a right towards smaller creators if they can make good content. And also the fact that TikTok is evolving as we speak, where you don't see that with Instagram, but TikTok takes into account what the viewers like more because it wanted to gain that traction back when it was coming out. So it needed kind of a leg up in listening to viewers and creators.
And speaking of stuff gaining traction, we can also talk about the background music in TikToks and how it helps like people discover like new songs and stuff that way. Background TikTok usually pays royalties each time a song is added in a video, as opposed to how popular a video is that happens to have a song in it. And some examples of like songs that have become way popular because of TikTok are like Bot, and the trend that kind of evolved from that was like people would dress up in these really glamorous, blingy outfits and like basically emphasize how much of a boss they are. And then there's the Mad at Disney stuff where people expose Disney and like all the stuff they don't like about Disney in the song called Mad at Disney. I don't know the artist, but it is a good song. And then also TikTok brings in, like, it exposes people to songs that we may not even have heard of. For example, like How Bizarre by OMC. That was from 1996, which none of us were born then, pretty much. And yeah, and then there was also Candy by Robbie Williams. That was in 2012, so we were born by then, but like this was 8 years ago. Our tastes may not have been that. So TikTok as a new media has given many songs a second wind in terms of popularity, and now those songs from way back when are reaching a demographic that might not even have known those songs, if not for TikTok.
And again, bringing it back to themselves, I believe it was Lil Nas X. Didn't he uploaded a short clip of Old Town Road, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually launched his fame into stardom. That's how this song got really big and really huge, and he credits TikTok to actually, most of his success. So on that note, we have our very own musician. So hi Nathan, we're gonna I guess pick your brain and ask you some questions. So yeah, Sanya, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, okay, so our first question here is, Nathan, how would you describe like the genre or the vibe of your music, or like what are you trying to put out there?
This is actually something that I've been thinking about for the past couple weeks, because as I'm getting more time with school lightening up, I'm starting to getting into producing more music and stuff. There's not exactly a singular genre that I really identify with, because a lot of that I am writing are inspired by a lot of the artists that I already listen to. So I'm almost like a big soup of like Harry Styles, 5 Seconds of Summer, Rex Orange County, Dodie Clark, Cavetown, just all these different artists. I'm just kind of like of all of these artists in one. So I guess if I had to give you a straightforward answer, I'm mostly indie pop, but even the indie pop genre is kind of vague, but indie pop is what I'd consider myself.
Cool. So bringing it back to TikTok, aside from expanding your reach, what's the motivation to actually go into TikTok in addition to Spotify or Instagram?
So one of the big things, like a big principle that I about TikTok is that the growth on TikTok is a lot faster than on other social media sites, which also means, well, one, I can reach more people. Well, actually, yeah, I can reach more people, and I can also find people that are like me on TikTok. because of how the algorithm works. And also because of that, I can closely interact with a lot of people and a lot of new people at the same time. That I like to stand by is that I am close with my audience and close with my following. I post and like all of the videos. I try to respond to as many comments as possible, even if it's just a little thank you or just a nice little emoji, just to show my appreciation for the people that are following me. And I mean, if they're giving me their time of day, so I'm gonna give them mine. So I want them to know that even though I'm in their eyes a big TikToker. Well, sorry, I don't like considering myself a big TikToker because I just feel like a normal dude. But I like giving them that appreciation to make them feel like, they are known, they are a person, they're there. So, with TikTok, I can really closely interact with my audience. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool. They, as much as you bring your content to them, they also bring your feedback, and you are able to draw out inspiration from TikTok too. So that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. The thing that I like with TikTok too is that my content doesn't need to be like linear in any way. Because like, on Instagram you kind of want like, that aesthetic profile vibe, so something like that. Or like if you're doing music, you're only doing music. If you're doing vlogging, you're only doing vlogging. But with TikTok, I feel like I can just post literally anything. And whatever I put out there still like counts, I guess. So if you look on my page, I've got like music, I've got original music, I've got covers, I've got little vlogs. I also have just like random funny videos that like I just have in my camera roll. You have like trend videos. It's just a big soup of everything, and I feel like I'm not as limited when I'm using TikTok, and I still get to do the things that I want to do. So yeah.
Yeah, that variety can be really nice for both you and I know audiences tend to like that as well. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, how hard was it for you to actually get started? Like, what was the motivation to do that? What was it like?
Oh, okay. So this is interesting because I didn't really intend to gain a following on TikTok. It just sort of happened. Um, so for a long time, I only had like 200 followers, and it was pretty much just, friends and like the 50 people that I guess I landed on their For You page. Um, but yeah, it was literally just like 200 people for the longest time. I was just posting like how everybody else posts, just because it's fun. It's something to do. So, and then I posted one day. I was in a panic because I had a project due at 11:59, and then the website just crashed and it just went down. So, naturally, as everyone does, grab the ukulele, write a cover song, or not a cover song, write a song about the situation that's going on. So I did that, and the website still wasn't loading in the time that I took to write a verse and a chorus. And it's already been like 10, 15 minutes, so I'm like, okay, I guess I'll record this and post it on TikTok, whatever. So I recorded myself singing, and then posted it on TikTok, threw my phone on my bed, ignored it for a bit. Website finally worked, got the project in, looked back at my phone, and I'm like, whoa, why is there 500 likes on this? And then I was like, wait, no, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So yeah, that was the start. And the next day, like, woke up and it was still blowing up and it was just going viral. And I'm like, oh God, did I just do something? And it was such a weird moment, but that's how I kind of got that initial like leg up in TikTok, because I think I gained a couple thousand followers from that. So yeah, that was the start.
Yeah, I remember when you posted that on Instagram. I like listened to that like 3, 4 times. It was a really cool song. It was kind of cool though.
Thank you.
I remember watching that video for the first time, and I was just like, because like you're my friend too, like you're my section leader, so it's like,
Oh
and
yeah.
I remember seeing that, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing! Like it was like perfect. It felt like
Thank
so.
you.
It was like yeah, it was so much fun to like listen to that over and over again. Yeah, I should stop fangirling now and get on. Okay, so what would you what would you say are the fun parts of being on TikTok?
Ooh, okay. Um, I really like getting to interact with my audience. Like that is probably one of the most fun parts about TikTok. 'Cause yeah, making the content is like really cool, but that does get stressful. But um, no, interacting with my audience and getting to know like people. Like I've had people like DM me on Instagram, and I start like having conversations with them, and they're actually like really cool people, and it's just I think especially now because I'm still a very small creator, I have the ability to do this, um, so it's it's really just like yeah, I mean getting to know my audience, yeah,
No, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like small artists in general, they just seem much more approachable and more down to earth because they still seem like they're with the people. They're not like high up on a stage and away from everyone else. Like you don't get that feeling with a small artist and like you.
yeah.
So now, since we just discussed the fun parts, what would you say are the not so fun parts?
Ooh, okay. So I mentioned it earlier, but it's actually making the content. So here's the thing. So I really like making ideas for content, right? Like I love brainstorming, like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. But then actually doing it, well, actually, wait, backtrack a little bit. So doing it, I also enjoy, but editing it is so tedious. Like I try to add captions with all of my videos, um, just for both ease of user and aesthetic. Um, but it takes so long to do the captions. Like, one time it took me like I think in total literally 45 minutes to do the captions for a video because I spent like the first half of that actually writing out the captions, and then my phone or like the TikTok app crashed, and then I lost all of it. So I had to redo everything. And then the reason why it took so long was because of like the timings of the captions, and I'm kind of like nitpicky with that, because I like the captions to be like, on time and good and stuff. So yeah, that's probably the not so fun parts.
Yeah, as somebody who specifically watches mainly TikToks with closed captions, just because I watch TV with closed captions, I don't know why, I just think it's much easier to comprehend when I see the words in front of me as well. And it makes it so much better for people that are hard of hearing and can't use the sound anyway. So I will sometimes watch TikToks with my sound off because I know most of the ones I watch that are recommended to me have closed captions. So it's definitely worth the effort. So thank you for putting in that effort. But I also understand how much hard it is to edit on TikTok. It's not the easiest, especially since it's on your phone. Because I know I'm trying to do the closed captions for these episodes, and don't get me wrong, I haven't done a lot with it, but it's easier to do it on a computer with YouTube as something that's meant to be easy to do closed captions for. But with TikTok, it's still not super integrated. So figuring out a way to do that is awesome. Do you think that the number of likes or views you get on certain videos affects your content as well?
Um, I wouldn't say it affects my content necessarily. Because I'm kind of at a stage where I'm just like, I'll just post kind of whatever I want to post. I think the things that does affect my content is like um when you know my followers like recommend something or say something or like I think it's mostly the comments, if I get good feedback on this video, then I'll probably do more like or do more videos like this, or if I do this I should do more of this, like an example of this is I started doing like a mini vlog series on my page, and I was like, hey guys, I'd like some feedback on that. So I got some pretty positive feedback, and that was kind of um the sign for like the okay, like the green light, like yeah, you should start making more of this. So yeah, it's mostly like the comments and like reading my audience that affects my content rather than like the amount of likes or views that I get.
That's the great thing about TikTok, is that it's personalized, so you can put in what you want and take out of it what you want. So if you are not considered with, I guess, the popularity, and you're just more worried on content and what you feel happy or good with, then yeah. So continuing on, what is it like to work on a platform where screen time is actually rather limited?
Okay, this I've talked about with a couple of other people on TikTok, and it's interesting because the way that TikTok works now is like I feel like it's really affected the way that like we make videos because like I feel like on TikTok our attention span is so short. Like I'll like go on TikTok, and then if a video doesn't catch my eye within like the first like second or two, I scroll past. I don't know. Like I don't know if I'm the only one that does it or if everybody does that, but like, that's how it is. So the way that affects like the content is um the I guess the most exciting parts of a video, or like the climax of the video, should be at the very beginning of the video instead of kind of building up to it as like using that as like an attention grabber, like a hook, as opposed to like, um in YouTube or Instagram, there's usually like a build up to something. But on TikTok, it's kind of the complete opposite. It's like you want to get people on as fast as possible, make it exciting as fast as possible, so that your content actually works with the algorithm.
So trying to strike that balance is definitely hard. How would you say that has affected your content and affected your decision as to creating it so that, again, it's more views? However, I know you said before it's more about, what you personally want to put on there. So how do you, I guess, balance between that?
Um, you see, I think because I mainly focus on music, it's pretty. I kind of have like an easier part than most because, um, with music, I guess the best way to say it is just start at the exciting part of the song, like if I were to do a cover like 2, 3 years ago or something, I'd do the full song cover. But now I would just start with the most recognizable part of that song or like an exciting part of that song and use that as sort of like my hook to be like, hey guys, check me out. I just recently posted a cover of Cavetown's Boys Will Be Bugs, and that's an example of where I had to adjust it, because TikTok only has a certain amount of time. So on my Instagram, I also posted the same cover, but that cover is a minute and a half long. And that starts at the beginning and then all the way through the end of the chorus. But on TikTok, I started directly at the chorus, or the build up to the chorus, so that it just catches your eye a little quicker. So that's how it kind of changes my content a little bit.
So yeah, I can see how the timing does affect what you post, like whether you start at a different point in the song on TikTok than you would in a normal Instagram video, which makes sense. I definitely agree with that. And I guess our next point is like you've talked about stuff that you've dealt with on TikTok, kind of obstacle-wise. So what were some obstacles you encountered with that?
So as an indie artist, I think the hardest part is finding a direction to go in because I don't really have any sort of like actual support from the music industry just yet, because I'm literally just doing everything on my own, completely independent indie artist, So all the stuff that I know right now is literally from like the internet, like just Google, like all the articles and stuff and all these YouTube videos. That's pretty much where I'm getting all the guidance from. So the hardest part really is just like figuring out what my next step is after I completed that last step. So like while releasing my first single, that in itself was an experiment, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know like what to expect. Because all I knew before that was, hey, I submit the song into this distributor, and then they put my song out there, and that's that's all I knew. But yeah, it's really just like learning all the new things as it comes at you, like all the marketing stuff, all the managerial stuff, just the business side of music is what's hard about it.
Yeah, that's completely understandable, but I'm hoping that this platform will help give you that little bit of a leg up that you might not get otherwise. Because I know nowadays, I feel like every other song I hear on the radio is something that I know got popular on TikTok. So there's always hope, and I wish the best of luck to you. Would you like to
Thank you.
talk about where we can find you on social media?
Yeah, so you can find me on TikTok at sausyboi, sausyboi. You can also find me on Instagram at saucy music, also sausy music. You can find me on Twitter, sausyboi, sausyBoy. Sorry, I gotta emphasize that because a lot of people spell it with a C. You can find me on Spotify too, at just saucy. And then you can also find all of these condensed in one link at my Linktree, linktr.ee/saucymusic. Again, with the S.
And we will put that in the description of this video, so check it out below if you are interested. Please go check this out.
And on that note, thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more content and give us a like. Comment down below what was a song that you discovered off of TikTok. And please don't forget to go check out Nathan's work. I think his music is really cool, so go check that out.
Yes, and thank you guys so much for having me here. It's great.
You're welcome. We loved having you here. Thank you, everyone, for listening and tuning into our podcast. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.